Kyle, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, thank you. What was your reaction when you found out the news on Wednesday? Where were you when it happened? I think Braden Montgomery said he was hitting in the cages when he got it. How about you?
I was driving to training, and it came as a complete surprise. I definitely didn't see it coming. And I mean, the emotions I felt were like I was just surprised at first, and then as it settled in, I felt really excited and ready to go.
Garrett was saying that it's kind of a compliment when you get traded for four guys with such high upside prospect wise. Do you feel the same way getting traded for a guy who is arguably one of the, top starters in the American League last year?
Yeah, this situation has never happened to me before, and it's all new to me, and I would just say that it's a really cool opportunity, and I have nothing but excitement.
Next question, James Fegan, go ahead.
What about the opportunity excites you specifically?
I would say that it's I would say that there's an opportunity to to play at the next level. Obviously, I don't make those decisions, but um, I've been I would just say I'm excited for what's ahead, and really all I can control is doing what I do every day, and um and yeah, I mean, I'm excited.
What what was your first season of pro ball? Your takeaways about how your skills play at this level and how you're positioned to kind of go forward?
I would say that I developed a ton last year, especially from the defensive defensive aspect of just catching every day, learning how to deal with pitchers and work with them to help them be their best. And I think I improved a ton with game calling and that aspect of the game. As for other things like receiving, my receiving metrics exploded towards the end of the year, and it's just I want to keep that rolling as we get going.
Vinny Duber, go ahead.
Hey Kyle, Chris Getz mentioned some potential positional versatility for you. In addition to catcher, what do you have experience doing, and how comfortable are you doing it?
Yeah, I have experience playing right fields. I was a shortstop in high school, played left field for the national team. To be honest, I just love to play the game, That's who I am. I'm a gamer, and you can put me anywhere. At the same time, it's like I love catcher. Catcher is my position. So I'm excited to see how it turns out. At the end of the day, I think it's important. However, you can get in the lineup to help a team win. I think that's most important.
We've heard from a lot of people who have joined this organization, kind of how impressed they are and excited they are for like the long-term future and the plan. As a player coming into it, who's going to be kind of a big part of it, what do you kind of think of the long-term future of the White Sox?
Um, I would say that it's great to look long term, and I think the future looks great. At the same time, it's like, okay, what can we do in the moment? What can we do today? Um, Always having that end goal in mind to motivate you, but still focusing on the present moment, I think is really important. Just because that's all that matters.
James.
Just you mentioned your catching metrics exploded. I think you did a little one knee stance in Virginia, but is that something you did more in pro ball, and how do you kind of adjust to it to where you saw the results?
So I mean, I really started implementing it at Virginia. The coaching staff there was great with helping me learn how to use it. And at the end of the day, I think it's just experience, understanding what worked for you, understanding my glove moves. One thing I have been implementing is a right knee down stance. Just that's been my big focus catching this offseason in order to make it easier for me to throw runners out more consistently and putting myself in the best position possible. So it's an everyday thing, just getting better and little tweaks here and there, and just 1% better every day, really.
I know I don't think you probably played against him at any point, but what it's kind of the feeling of how much do you know about Edgar Caro, and was it like to kind of join up with another catcher who's kind of in a similar spot as you, as a fellow kind of top 100 catching prospect?
It's funny. I just went on my Instagram and I saw he followed me and I followed him right back. I'm excited to meet him. Really looking forward to it.
Daryl.
Hey, Kyle, it's obviously an important position. What about the position do you enjoy? What do you like? You said you love to catch. Why would you say that is?
You know, there's so many things I love about catching. Throwing runners out is awesome. It completely swings the momentum of the game to your team's favor. Um, Game calling has been something I've grown to love. Just learning how to use certain tools and look at opposing hitters. And receiving, I would say throwing runners out and receiving it would be the top two. Just how can I present this ball to the umpire to make it a strike?
Have you heard from Drew Butera at all, the Sox catching coach? Have you been in contact with him? I know it's just been a couple of days, but any contact yet?
Um, I have been in contact with the Sox catching coach, so I'm meeting so many people so fast. So um, I'm doing my best to stay on top of everything. So I mean, it's going to be a lot easier when I meet them in person. I will say that.
Vinny?
Kyle, you mentioned opportunity, and Chris Getz mentioned that he wants some of you guys that were acquired in this trade to come to spring training and compete for jobs. I mean, what is that opportunity like, and how do you prepare for spring training where things could be really kind of move along for you pretty quick?
hmm I would say that nothing really changes from the position I was in a week ago to today. It's I'm doing the same thing. I'm trying to be the best I can be, competing against myself every day, and and I think that is the best thing you can do, really. Just compete against yourself, and wherever you land, you land. Just give it your all every day, you know.
Bruce?
You have a reputation for being the first guy there and the last guy out. Where does that come from as far as your DNA, and where did you develop these habits that people say you love the game more than just about anybody they know?
Yeah, like you said, I love the game. I love to get better. I'm very obsessed with getting better. It's just ingrained in me. At the same time, when I'm at the field and like, I'm talking to coaches, I'm talking to players. I love talking the game as well. I love getting to know guys, personalities. So I would say it's a combination of loving the game, loving the people around me, and just making the most of my time wherever I'm at.
If you could be a great catcher for 10 years or a great position player for 15, which would you take?
That's a great question. I'm a catcher. I believe in myself as a catcher. Um, I love catching. That's what I want to do. So I would let's be a catcher for 15 years, you know.
Okay, thank you.
James?
Just pro velocity, pro ball often brings more velocity you have to face. Just what it can sometimes bring changes what your swing's going to be from college to pro. It seems like you put up pretty good numbers. How did you feel like your swing adjusted to what you were facing on a nightly basis in pro ball?
Yeah, I think I adjusted really well. I think that I learned a lot last season. I think that I just I feel like there was certain times where there was an adjustment period. And it's just like how quickly can you get over that adjustment period and keep moving forward. And every time I've gone through those periods, I feel like I've gotten better out of it and taken so much. I think the most important thing has really been, okay, what's my routine? What do I have to do every day? Because when you're playing 162 games, you need to be consistent with what you do before the game so you can be consistent like throughout the season. So I think that was the biggest thing, just pointing into my routine.
Did you get to call your own games ever at Virginia, and how much was that a transition in pro ball?
Yeah, I never called my games at Virginia. At the same time, I was able to make certain changes to pitch calls if I noticed something, like hit her up in the box or on the plate. Um, Pro ball's a different animal than college. You play a lot more games, and part of the game that I love is calling my own game. So it's been fun to improve with that, and I feel like I've been doing a really great job with that.
You played, I think, 110 games last year. Just how's the how'd you get a feel for what the physical cost of the season is, and how is that, informing what you're doing training wise, this offseason?
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I loved last season. I loved the process. I loved playing a lot of games. It's easy when you love the game. Playing a lot of games is a lot easier. And as for this offseason, I took about a month and a half break, just working out and put the bat down, let my body recover a little bit, and now I'm up and running again, and I've just been preparing. So,
Coach?
Cal, how we doing?
good. How are you?
Fine. Congratulations. Welcome to Chicago.
Thank you.
How did you hear about the trade, and what was your thoughts when you did hear about it?
So I was driving to my gym actually to go train, and I'm pulling in the parking lot, and I got a phone call, and I answered it, and I didn't think it was. I know the Rule 5 draft was coming up. I didn't know what it had to do with, but then I heard I got traded, and I was just completely surprised at first. Didn't see it coming at all, and then I went and worked out, kind of like cleared my head a little bit, and then I was like just excitement. I felt a lot of excitement just for what's ahead, and yeah, that's how I feel.
Daryl?
Everyone likes having a left-handed hitting catcher. Were you natural that way, or did your father turn you around when you were a little guy?
So my dad will tell me you were always on the left side of the plate, like that's what you wanted to do. If you ask my mom will go, "No, I set you up on the tee on the left side." So I'm not really sure.
You find it to be a plus though in terms of your skill set, right?
Oh, for sure. Definitely a plus. He gets to first base a little quicker, and I mean, you don't want to see me on the right side of the plate. So, yeah.
We all silly like the mayor.